Hey houseplant lovers, welcome back to Millennial Planter. I'm Marina and hi, hello, welcome if you're new. Hope you stick around and subscribe because on this channel I talk about all things houseplant, the good and the ugly, which brings me to today's video. I actually got this idea from Sydney over at Peaceful Planting, one of my good friends, and she made a video sharing the ugly truth of collecting houseplants and just opening up and sharing some of her problems that she's been going through right now with her houseplant collection. And if you have a houseplant collection as big as us, you are bound to run into some problems, and I feel like problems aren't really talked about too much in the houseplant community because a lot of people are just more focused in showing these beautiful lush plants, which I totally understand. You grow something and it's so big and so beautiful and you just want to share it and help people care for their plants successfully. So sharing pictures of ugly houseplants is just not as aesthetically pleasing, and I just think it needs to be more openly talked about, and I have talked about my problems frequently on this channel. I just wanted to share my ugly truth on collecting houseplants and just the houseplant problems that I'm currently going through, and they are not fun. One common houseplant problem amongst everybody is pests, and having pests is not a bad thing. I'm just gonna say that now. I am someone that pays really close attention to my plants and constantly treat them. I'm constantly watering them down and cleaning their foliage, and I still deal with pests. And honestly, just trying to recognize the signs and the warnings of when you have pests, especially early on, can just make a huge difference in your houseplant collecting. But lately I have been dealing with thrips. I don't get them all the time, but when I do get pests, it's usually thrips. I dealt with them last year with an old alocasia I used to have, which also had spider mites, and I'm dealing with them now. So I guess this is my second time having thrips, and it is just, it's really nerve-wracking. So I started noticing this kind of yellow damage. I don't know if you guys could see that, but just some not so pretty leaves on my Philodendron Postizanum. As you can see, this has like yellow dots on it. And I started looking really closely at the foliage, and I noticed that it was thrips. And I wish I took a picture, but I didn't because my first reaction was to freak out. And they're basically really tiny, skinny black bugs. Sometimes they can be white. And there wasn't too many of them, but I saw enough and I started freaking out. I started treating it with some horticultural spray that I have. But then I saw the thrips come back a week later, and I started checking my other plants, and a couple of my other philodendrons had the thrips as well. So I saw the thrips on this Philodendron subhumstatum on the backs of the leaves, and then I noticed that this Dieffenbachia starbright had a dying leaf, which usually wouldn't worry me so much because Dieffenbachia are notorious leaf droppers. But since I saw thrips on this plant, I thought maybe that this one would have it too. So I went ahead and I treated all the plants on my bottom shelf, which as you can see is a lot. So I went ahead and I treated them with a systemic and with Captain Jack's dead bug spray. Put my Postizanum in timeout in a corner far away from all my plants. And I freaked out, guys. I have heard some bad stories about thrips, and thrips are also able to fly, so they're easily transferable to your plant. And pretty much all my foliage touch. So I just know that if it got out of hand, that would just be a wildfire and I could possibly lose my whole collection, because that's just what happened. Thrips lay their eggs inside the leaves, and thrips are just known to completely decimate plants, and I know some people that have lost plants to thrips, so I was just trying to get ahead of the problem as fast as I could. It's been about a month since all that has happened, and I haven't seen any other signs of thrips or any type of bug. I also just am working on treating my whole collection while I'm at it, since I started on the bottom shelf. And I'm just carefully checking everybody, and everybody seems good, which is a huge relief. I don't know what it is with Postizanums, but I feel a lot of them just attract thrips, and it's just keep on top of them. Another problem I'm dealing with is just dying plants. But I know that's the norm. So if you're currently killing plants, don't worry. I am too. Currently, I'm killing this beautiful cotton candy fern. I'm not sure of the actual name, but that's just what it was labeled. And I actually got this from one of my good friends, and the foliage before was easily down to here, almost to the bottom of this pot. And now just look at it. I decided to repot this plant, and obviously it hates me now. I don't ever keep ferns. I've never had a fern before, and now I have 3 of them and they're all doing horrible. So when you hear people say that ferns are horrible, they really are horrible. And I noticed that they don't like to be repotted because I repotted all my ferns and now they're all dying. So there's that. Another plant that I'm killing is my Cactus geometricus, I believe it's called. And I'm actually really sad about this. It has some rot issues going on, as you can see there. I hope it's focusing. And basically, I guess I overwatered it. I've only watered this plant twice since I've had it. And I was gonna give this to a friend and hopefully she could somehow save it, but I don't know if it's too far gone at this point. So yeah, I'm actually really sad about this one. Yeah. And lastly, I have just been dealing with a lot of yellowing, dead, dying leaves, and just, I guess, some cases of underwatering perhaps. I don't know if you guys can see that yellow tip on this whale fin. Maybe I should fertilize it a little bit more because it is growing a new pup, and maybe it just needs some extra nutrients, but I have no clue why this is turning yellow, and it is breaking my heart. I should probably pull it up and see if it's root rot, even though I water this plant once a month. I feel like I do tend to overwater because I am just very OCD about not letting my plants dry out completely. I don't know, you guys. This is a bummer. I know in a lot of cases, the yellowing leaves is just a sign of the change of season because it is fall and they are not getting as much sunlight as they used to get in summer in the growing season. And come fall, a lot of plants lose leaves just like the trees do outside. But in my case, you know, usually I don't worry about that, but I'm currently, you know, very paranoid about thrips. So when stuff like this ZZ Zenzi gets yellow, like this whole stalk is just, it's gone. And I think a lot of the problem is because I got it from Pike Nurseries, and I think they just overwatered it because it did have some soft stalks to them. So hopefully that'll be the last one dying, but I did go ahead and treat this with the spray and with the systemic because I don't see any thrips, but they're so tiny I could definitely have missed it. Yeah, it's just a constant paranoia at this stage. So all that aside, just to end this video on a little bit of a high note, I want to share just 2 little Hoya updates. I share updates a lot on Instagram in my stories, so you can check me out there if you want to see daily growth updates. But I just thought I would share these 2 little Hoyas. So here is a variegated Hoya Wayettii, and as you can see, it has 2 beautiful pink leaves, and those are the new leaves, and this is getting slightly sun stressed, which is why the new leaves look pink. But it's so exciting and it's so cute. I'm in love with this leaf. Like, it's half pink, half variegated-ish color. It's just so pretty, and I have loved seeing this plant grow. And next is this Hoya Megalaster that I actually won from a Hoya Haven giveaway hosted by Amber and a bunch of other awesome Instagram planty people. But this Hoya Megalaster is coming out with new growth, as you can see there. So I'm pretty sure there's some leaves forming, and I can't wait. This leaf here, as you can see, is the size of my hand, so I can't wait to see new leaves grow and just to see how big they are. I hope they're as big as this one and not way smaller, because that would be very sad, but yeah. So exciting. Well, there you have it. all of my current struggles in my collection. The good thing is that I am on the up and up, and I do feel like I'm getting ahead of it finally, and I'm going to get very ahead of it once I treat the rest of my collection. But yeah, so there you go. Not everything is as pretty as it is on Instagram. We all have our struggles, and if you're struggling with anything, let me know in the comments down below. And if you need help with anything specific, maybe I could try to help you out a little bit, or just give you my best tips and what has helped me. I hope you all give this video a thumbs up. Hopefully you liked it, and hopefully you can relate to me a little bit. And I hope you all are staying safe, sane, and healthy, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!